So quite a few of you have been asking me recently if buying Kaspa ASICs is still a good idea or if it's too late. And it just so happens that I have been working on a spreadsheet where I'm tracking exactly this very closely. So today I thought I'd let you guys have a look at the spreadsheet with me, covering things like current and future profitability, if these miners will ever break even, and how much money you can potentially make when mining on one of these miners for the next 2 years straight. And yes, we are going to take both the network hash rate growing and Kaspa's emission schedule into account. So stay tuned for all of that coming up in this video after a quick word from our sponsor. Coin Mining Central are currently doing a massive giveaway for the month of September where you can win loads of different ASIC miners as well as various coin prices and more. And if you guys can get them up to 12,000 followers on Twitter, they've promised to add, in their own words, a sensational bonus to the giveaway as well. And luckily for us, following them on Twitter is one of the ways to enter into the giveaway. You can find the rest of the info about the giveaway through the link in the video description. And if you're not familiar with Coin Mining Central, they're an online store for ASIC miners that has been around for over 5 years at this point. And since they're based out of England, Europe, where we have very strict rules and regulations on stuff like customer support and personal detail protection, I've always felt fully comfortable recommending them to you guys. On top of that, Coin Mining Central always offer free worldwide express shipping, and they've also provided me with loads of exclusive discount codes for you guys. And by the way, for those of you who might be curious, the Jas-Miner X16Q, Bitmain X5 and IceRiver KS0 are the miners that I'm personally most interested in currently. So go check out Coin Mining Central. I've put all of those discount codes and the exclusive link down in the video description, and of course, don't forget to enter into the giveaway. Alright, so just some transparency here. Yes, this video is sponsored by Coin Mining Central, who do sell some of these miners, but they did not specifically ask me to make this video. I'm free to say whatever I want. They don't get to watch the video before I upload it or anything like that. Plus, we're literally just gonna be looking at numbers in this video anyway. Now, if you do want to purchase one of these miners, I'd really appreciate it if you could use one of the affiliate links down in the video description. It won't cost you anything extra. There are even some discount codes down there for you, but the channel does get a small commission if you do use those links. So, as I always say, kind of a win-win, right? You get to save a bit of money with the discount codes, and I can afford to keep making videos like this one. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into the spreadsheet. All right, so here we are on the computer with the spreadsheet. And just to start, I know some of you are gonna be asking for this spreadsheet, and unfortunately, well, I will be giving it to you, but not today because it is not finished yet. It is finished for the Kaspa ASICs here that we're gonna be going through, but I'm doing this that you'll see me do with the Kaspa ASICs for, you know, ASICs for all different kinds of coins in this spreadsheet. So it's almost ready, and when it is ready, I will make a whole dedicated video about it, and then you'll also get access to it. But as for today, you're just gonna have to, you know, watch me go through it in the video here. So yes, to start, we have all of the, you know, currently available Kaspa ASICs here. However, I believe only the KS0, KS3M, and the two higher end KS3s from Bitmain are the ones that are currently in stock and available to purchase. I don't think Bitmain is even making the 8.3 terahash version anymore. I might be wrong about that. I also think IceRiver are no longer making their KS3 version, as well as their KS3L, KS2 and KS1. So those are the ones that I believe are currently available. And yeah, as we can see here, you know, you got the standard stats, the price and some discount codes here. I mentioned that a bit earlier, I believe. And yeah, here you can see which ones are in stock. Yeah, hash rate, watts, and then of course the sort of efficiency, power efficiency for all of these miners, and then also kind of a cost per terahash. So these are, you know, the numbers that you would normally compare to sort of put miners up against each other to see, you know, which one is best in terms of mining efficiency. And of course you want this number to be as low as possible because it's watts per terahash. And, you know, no surprise, the higher end Bitmain KS3, the 9.4 terahash model, is the best one here at 0.34 watts per terahash. And as a matter of fact, that one is also the one that is quote unquote priced the best, giving you, or rather costing only $2.34 per terahash. you know, as opposed to the KS0, which is about 4 times as expensive and about half as power efficient. Now, of course, these are in 2 completely different price ranges, with the KS0 being, you know, under $1,000. It's like $900 after the discount code, whilst the KS3, the high-end KS3, is like 21,000 after the discount code. But you know, we can stare at these numbers all we want, but of course they don't really make any sense in a vacuum. They need context in terms of, you know, well, how much are they making per day, and what is the power cost to run these, and how much are you going to sell your mined Kaspa coins for, and so on. So we do have a separate tab here in this spreadsheet where we're just filling in some sort of data. So we do have this first, which is the Kaspa target sell price. Basically, you know, take your ideal situation here. If you could mine and hold all of your mined coins until, you know, an upcoming potential bull market, what price do you hope you'll be able to sell all of your mined Kaspa for? For me, I put in 50 cents there. I personally, you know, nothing in this video is financial advice, and neither is this, but I think Kaspa could still see about a 10x in price from here. But also keep in mind that, like, this video is not just going to be hopium. We are going to be using current coin prices as well to do all of these calculations. But this is just for a bit of, you know, like the realistic scenario that I think a lot of us are aiming for right now when buying miners, of like buying a miner now, mining on it for the next 2 years, and then hopefully selling all of those mined coins at the same time for a big amount after we see a massive price increase. So that's what this Kaspa target sell price is, and I've, as I said, put it at 50 cents per Kaspa coin. Power price, I put 15 cents per kilowatt hour here. We'll experiment with this a little bit in the video too. You'll see how for basically none of these miners, power price barely even matters unless you're paying like a stupid, like well over $1 per kilowatt hour. Well, I mean, obviously it does matter, but you know, not to the extent that it would make these miners unprofitable, even if you're paying like 30 cents per kilowatt hour. But I've put 15 cents there. And then we have this, which is the estimated miner uptime. So basically, how long are you planning to run this miner for? I've put 2 years. I think that's a realistic time frame for mining with these miners. And you'll see why I'm doing this a bit later, but that's mainly because, like, you buy a miner like this not to, you know, break even in 50 days and then turn it off or something like that, right? Like, you buy it with the intent of mining on it for the next few years, right? Like a good amount of time. So this spreadsheet is all about figuring out realistic scenarios, right? But with that out of the way, let's hop into the actual numbers here. So here we have like the results for these miners at the current network hash rate. So basically you can see, yeah, the average stuff or the normal stuff you'd look at in these types of videos, how much coin each miner yields every day, how much that is worth at today's coin price, how much, you know, that is when subtracting the cost of running the miner every day. But then we also have, you know, things like this, daily revenue if sold at target price. So instead, imagine you are taking all of these coins you are currently yielding with these miners every day, holding them until, you know, Kaspa sees this price of 50 cents per coin, and then selling all of it. How much will it be worth? And you can see that here it's a pretty decent amount for, you know, some of these miners, over 2 grand a day for the KS3 if, you know, we were able to pull that off. And then of course subtracting the power price from that, it's basically makes no difference on any of these, well under a single % in most of these cases. Then we have some of these numbers which are really useful when it comes to comparing miners for different coins, but maybe not so relevant when comparing miners for the same coin. So it's current daily revenue per kilowatt hour. So basically, how much does this miner currently rake in terms of just revenue per kilowatt hour of power it uses. So yeah, I mean, you can see the reason why it's not that relevant when comparing miners of the same for the same coin is because it's the exact same as just looking at the efficiency basically. When this is interesting is when comparing two miners for different coins. So it would be a good way of comparing like how well does the best Kaspa miner stack up against the best Dogecoin miner, for example, which one makes more per kilowatt hour there. It's a way to kind of like level the play field in a way. Then we have the same thing, but instead of per kilowatt hour, we're looking at per dollar or per $100 spent when buying the miner. And again, this is exactly the same as just looking at the price per terahash when just comparing miners for the same coin. This, however, is quite interesting here. The highest profitable power price at the current network hash rate. So basically, as long as you're paying less than these prices per kilowatt hour in terms of your power price, these miners are profitable for you. So yeah, as you can see, I really hope none of you are paying, you know, almost $3 per kilowatt hour there. Yeah, cost to run the miner, that's pretty self-explanatory. Then we got this field, which is the net hash growth resistance score. Basically, this is, yeah, as the name implies, right? How resistant to the network hash rate growing are these miners? Or in other words, how much does it take for them to become unprofitable? And so this is using your power price. And so basically what this number here is how many of the most powerful miner for this coin, so in this case obviously the Bitmain KS3 9.4 terahash model, would it take before the miner, the specific miner, the miner in question I should say, becomes unprofitable for you at your specified power cost. So again, the power cost we've specified here is 15 cents per kilowatt hour. And basically what this all means is if you buy a KS3, there will need to be an additional 58,000 KS3s coming online before the KS3 you just bought becomes unprofitable for you at your 15 cents per kilowatt hour power rate. I hope I explained that so that it's easy to understand. And the same thing if we use the KS0 here as an example. If you buy a KS0 now and you have a 15 cents per kilowatt hour power price, there would need to be 28,782 KS3s coming online. So again, it looks for the most powerful one and how many of those need to come online before the miner in question becomes unprofitable for you at your power price. Or another way of specifying this is how many times does the network hash rate kind of need to double, or how much does the network hash rate need to grow before the miner in question becomes unprofitable for you at your power price. So as you can see here, for example, the KS3, the biggest version, if you're paying 15 cents per kilowatt hour, the network hash rate would need to almost 19x in size. So not grow by 10% or even 100%. It'd have to grow by 1,886%. And for the KS0, again, it would need to grow by almost 10 times the size it is currently. Another way of specifying this is what's the lowest coin price where these miners are still profitable for you at your 15 cents per kilowatt hour. So for example, for the KS3, Kaspa's coin price could go all the way down to, not 2 cents, but 0.256 cents. So what would that be? It's a 20th of the price it is right now, I think. And the same for the KS0, the coin price would need to, drop by 90% for that to become unprofitable when looking at the current network hash rate and, Kaspa's current emissions and all that. So let's look at some break-even numbers currently, but since these are all taking into account the current network hash rate and not really like the future, I'm only going to gloss quickly over these, and then we're going to look at like what will the future hold instead, because to me that is a much more relevant number to look at. So, but yeah, as you can see here, current break-even time if selling all mined coins at today's coin price. So if you're just mining and selling every day and Kaspa's price literally doesn't move, and also network hash rate doesn't move, then here are the break-even times for all of these miners. You can see the KS3, just about 100 days still. That is pretty good, all things considered. And the KS0, 500 days. That's still not bad. Of course, what we want to be kind of looking at here is like, well, do you sell your coins? Basically, like selling the coins at today's price, that's like, you're probably going to be selling them for a higher price in the future. That's if you believe in the cyclical nature of the Bitcoin market or the crypto market, which, that's up to you. But also the miner is going to make less coins going forward because of network hash rate growing and Kaspa's daily emissions decreasing. So, take those things into account. But yeah, current break-even time if selling all mined coins at the target price. So again, remember our target price was 50 cents per Kaspa coin. And if you're able to do that, that means the KS3 is going to break even in 10 days, just about 10 days, which is absolutely stupid. And even the KS0 is only gonna take 44 days to break even. So, I mean, that's crazy. And then kind of the same thing, so basically, let's say you have to sell the coins you mine every day, or just enough coins every day to cover your power cost, but you're able to hold the rest and sell the rest at your target coin price. How long would it then take to break even? And you can see those numbers here. 48 days for the KS0, still only 10 days for the KS3. I guess it's like the decimals matter here a little bit. Yeah, so 9.9 days versus 10.4 days, but yeah, there you go. But let's move on to kind of the more interesting stuff, right? So that is results after estimated network hash rate growth. So the big thing here is like when I'm finally ready to release this spreadsheet to you guys, you'd be able to come in here and make your own judgment calls for how much Kaspa's network hash rate is gonna grow. We've obviously seen, a pretty significant growth on the Kaspa network hash rate, but how much is it gonna keep growing? Well, I like to specify this by like the amount of additional miners that I would estimate would come online. So, like what's a realistic amount of ASICs to be produced, basically. And what I've got here is, I think Bitmain might, produce and ship another 5,000 of their KS3s. We can check how much it would be if we double this later too. I think IceRiver might have another 1,500 to go, but kind of hearing all these rumors about them shutting down production and all of their miners are like sold out on their own website except for the KS0. So yeah, I think IceRiver seem to be ramping down, and right now might be kind of your last chance at even getting one of those miners. The KS0, I think they're probably gonna keep making for a bit, so I've put 2,500 additional KS0s there. But then what we see is how much additional network hash rate is that, and then I'm just doing some math behind the scenes in the spreadsheet to sort of calculate how much does that lower the amount of coin yield for these miners based on this network hash rate growth. So for example, if you can see here, after this estimated network hash rate growth, the KS3 would make about 1,600 Kaspa per day, as opposed to the 4,400 Kaspa that we were, that we make currently with the KS3. And if I, for example, double this to 5,000 here, you can see how that decreases. But let's keep it at these numbers for now, as 5,000 is still quite a high number for Bitmain to produce. But yeah, you got your estimated daily coin yield there after this sort of network hash rate growth. I think I'm kind of just gonna gloss over this bit quickly because the next bit is probably the most interesting bit. But yeah, you can see sort of like how much each miner would make every day at 15 cents per kilowatt hour. After this, let's now actually go in and double our power cost here to 30 cents per kilowatt hour, just because I want to show you how even if we do that, they're all still gonna be profitable after this kind of a network hash rate growth. Let's even throw in some more miners here. So I guess, yeah, they are still all profitable. So this is if Bitmain were to produce 10,000 of their KS3s and ship and have those come online, and you're paying 30 cents per kilowatt hour, these miners are still all profitable at, you know, the current daily emissions of Kaspa, which we'll get into that in just a little bit. But for now, let's put these numbers back to what they were and then look at our final results here a little bit. So yeah, you can see profit, you know, revenue, all that kind of stuff. And then let's look at network hash growth resistance again. So remember I explained how many additional miners need to come online before you know, the miner in question becomes unprofitable. Well, you can see those numbers again here, and this is after, you know, we've already added 5,000 KS3s, 1,500 IceRivers, and 2,500 KS0s. You can see it still would take a lot of miners coming online before these become unprofitable. And yeah, same things here, like network hash rate growth and the sort of lowest coin price needed, lowest coin price where they would still be profitable. So yeah, I mean, I already explained this, you understand this is the same thing that we just went through earlier, just at after a network hash rate growth of, you know, these many miners. But now we're gonna get into like the really interesting stuff. But first, I think I'm just gonna throw to a quick word from our sponsor. HeroMiners.com is a long-time trusted mining pool with support for over 17 different CPU and GPU mineable coins, including Kaspa, Flux, Monero, Ironfish, Ergo, and Alephium, just to mention a few. And since the Ethereum merge, they've done everything they can to help you guys stay profitable, like doing multiple periods of 0% pool fees, regular giveaways and bonus events, greatly reduced parallel asset fees on Flux, 10 times faster Ergo payouts than other pools, and just in general having really low and competitive pool fees for all of their supported coins. On top of this, they also have servers in 13 different locations around the globe to make sure you have a strong connection no matter where in the world you're mining from. Of course, they also have everything else you'd expect from such a high quality pool, like nice stats and charts, ready-made BAT files to help you connect your mining software to the pool, the option to choose between pool mining and solo mining, support for mining rig rentals and NiceHash, the list goes on and on. So check them out at HeroMiners.com or by clicking the link down in the video description. All right, and we're back. So what we're gonna be looking at now is both like break-even time, but also how much money are you actually gonna end up with these miners. So here we go, break-even time if selling all mined coins at today's coin price. So this is taking into account this like network hash rate growth that we've already specified here, and also is kind of like if Kaspa's price never increases and never decreases, right? Just based on that, how long would the break-even time be? And we can see for the KS3, that's still under a year, which that's kind of absurd in my opinion. Then we have the same thing, but if you're able to hold all the mined coins and sell them at your target coin price, which, you know, again, we set as 50 cents, yeah, then the KS3 still break even in less than a month, or I guess a full month if you're talking about February. And KS0 still 125 days, not too bad. And then we have the sort of in-between thing here, which is what if you need to sell just enough coins every day to cover your power costs, and you do that at today's coin price, but then you hold the rest of your mined coins and are able to sell those at your target coin price. How long would your break-even time be then? And you can see that here, 170 days for the KS0, 32 days for the KS3. Now, here we have some, the problem with these numbers though is they're not taking into account the fact that Kaspa's emission schedule is quite aggressive. Like the amount of Kaspa mined every month is reduced by about 5% every month. So that, like, this math is just kind of really hard to do, but it's not very hard to do when talking about these next numbers here. So this next section here is taking that emission schedule into account. So this is the estimated coin price needed to break even in your given time frame. So remember from very early in the video, I spoke about the estimated miner uptime. So that is the time frame that you are expecting to be able to run this miner for. And yeah, as I said, I've put that as exactly 2 years. I think buying an ASIC, you probably are gonna end up mining on it for the next 2 years. Again, nothing in this video is financial advice or anything like that. That's just what my assumption would be. But also, I'm just some guy on the internet, so take that as you will. But yeah, you can see here, for the KS0 to break even in the 730 days that we've specified, you need a coin price of 17.4 cents for Kaspa. And that is if you're able to hold all your coins and sell them when Kaspa, or after 730 days at a coin price of, well, 17.4 cents per Kaspa coin. And you can see how this decreases depending on how, you know, efficient and good value for money the miner is, basically, with the KS3, of course, being the best here. It only needs a 4.6 cent price of Kaspa, which is basically what Kaspa's coin price is today. So there you go. That's the realistic thing there. Then we have the same thing, but for kind of if you need to sell every day just enough to cover the power cost of the miner, and that you would do that at today's coin price, then how much would you need the Kaspa coin price to be after 730 days in order to break even? So you have those numbers there, and then we get into the final, like, super interesting bit, which is how much money are these miners actually going to make you after 2 years? So if you think that you'll be able to get these, mine on them for 2 years, how much profit are you actually going to have at the end of that whole time? So this is all taking into account selling the Kaspa at your target coin price, which I've set to 50 cents, but we can try it at some lower prices here too. And it is taking into account both this estimated network hash rate growth that we talked about, and it is also taking into account Kaspa's daily emissions going down by about 5% each month. So KS3, after 2 years of mining on it, at 15 cents per kilowatt hour, so this is after paying for the miner and after paying for the power to run the miner, you would have a profit of $300,000. All of this taken into account. And you can see the numbers for the rest of the miners here. This is if you're able to hold all of the coins and sell them all at your target coin price. And if we instead have to sell every month in order to cover the power cost of the miners, and we have to do that, sell the coins at today's coin price, this is what we end up with instead in terms of total profit after 2 years. So as you can see, at 15 cents, these all still of the 2 years would end up in a profit according to my calculations here. But let's look at some, some other numbers. So let's, for example, start by saying Kaspa will only reach 10 cents per kilo, 10 cents in terms of coin price after 2 years. So then we can see there are actually three miners here that won't be profitable after that time. Now, I do want you to take into account that if KAS, we see all of this, and like after all is said and done, basically, you also have to take into account that you can probably still sell these miners too. So as long as, 2 years from now, you would be able to sell your IceRiver KS0 for $500, well, then you actually did end up making a profit, although be that just a $5 profit, but anyway. And as you can see, the KS3 is still a profit of $36,000 after 2 years. And you can also still sell the miner, like let's say you can sell the miner for 10,000, then 46,000. So there you have all those numbers. Let's instead try maybe 25 cents, so half of what I've said, but let's say you have also a 25-cent power rate, right? So how would that change things? Well, then you can see if you're able to hold all the coins and pay power out of pocket, then you do end up with a profit on all of them, with the KS3s all basically around 100 grand in total profit. And you can see if you need to pay for power by selling mined coins, the results there. But that's it. Quick reminder to please check out the affiliate links and discount codes in the video description if you do want to get one of these miners. But yeah, other than that, thanks for watching. Please give the video one of these if you found it helpful. And over there on your right, there are some more mining videos that you can check out next. So yeah, I'll see you there.